Hey everybody, Keegan here, and today we're going to be doing Q&A with members of the Clone Keegan. Okay everybody, so it's been a little bit since I've been able to talk to you guys, so I just want to come back. This will be the first show of the year, and what I want to do is I just want to take some questions and answers and topics and get back with the members of the Clone Keegan. Our only rule at the Clone Keegan is no trolls, so I'm going to see what topics everybody wanted me to cover, or just what they think is important to them right now. So first one comes from Dallas Burnsworth. He says the increase of gun laws since weed has been legalized in Washington state, could it be that the private prisons are not getting their slave quota? Yeah, you got to realize that anytime something like a drug or something that's been illegal for a while gets introduced into the culture, they have to kind of gauge how it's going to work. And so guns and marijuana, the government looks at as if you have both, they think that you're trying to protect your black market investment, which would be your pot. I think that's baloney, but that's why gun laws and marijuana laws kind of conflict with one another, because they no longer look at it as you trying to protect yourself. They look at it as if you're trying to protect this black market thing. It's legal in Washington state, but it's still illegal federally. So they look at it as if you're trying to protect your investment. And could it be that private prisons are not getting their slave quota? They're always trying to cram drug offenders and people that are proponents of Second Amendment. They're always trying to put either in jail or they're trying to come after them in some way. But good point, good point. Daniel Dockery says strange lights on the peninsula, missing people in national force. So we live in the on the other side of the peninsula from Seattle here in Sequim, Washington. And there's always rumblings and weird lights. Just the other night at the casino, I had some coworkers that noticed some lights that were hovering up in the sky, and they said there's like three lights and they became one light or something. So I personally think that there's an underground military base near Port Angeles, Washington. And I've been hearing I've met different people around town that have all heard that there is a place where the mountains open up here in the Olympics and helicopters are seen flying in and out. So this maybe could explain the missing people. If I don't know if you guys have heard of the documentary 411, but there's been like a hush of reports of missing people that disappear in national parks and stuff. So if you get a chance, you should check that out, the Missing 411. But yeah, there's definitely something weird going on here on the peninsula. And the Navy's doing something. There's like missiles that are shooting off near Woodby Island and people crashing planes near Woodby Island, which is just across the water from us. So that's definitely a good topic. Um, Daniel says Q updates. So for those of you that don't know, QAnon is this person that's been going online to places like 4chan and Vote and Reddit, and basically it seems as if they have inside information about the deep state or the Illuminati or whatever, and they every once in a while will post in like these weird cryptic messages and basically like almost prophesize events that end up happening in the media. So it seems as if this mysterious Q basically has some sort of information, or maybe he's friends with the Trump administration, or he's involved with the Trump administration or something. But I've read that his last update said that there's going to be something going on within the next 21 days. So that's something to be on the lookout for. So today is March 3rd, 2019. So if something happens within the next 21 days, you heard it here first or heard it there first or whatever. But Dallas Burnsworth also says Eastern Washington splitting away from Western Washington, establishing the state of liberty. Yeah, like they want to take Washington state and make it two different states because there's such a conflict in ideologies and stuff. And it's weird because you seem to have a lot of people in Central Washington that want to vote a certain way, but if you get south of Seattle, you have a lot of people that are like, constitutional loving people. So it's a big conflict, and I don't think it's going to solve anything. If anything, we need unity. We don't need 100 states. If anything, we need to unite as one country. But that's my personal opinion. So I'll keep a lookout for that stuff. Bob Bish says, "What a garbage dump Seattle has become. Are they doing it on purpose, or will Hillary and Bill and Barack and Michael ever be brought to justice? Also, is Q real or a CIA plant?" Again, so Bob is asking about Q. That's what I was just talking about a minute ago. What's weird about the Q thing is he has to be CIA or something if he is who he claims he is. He says he's working on the inside, so we could very well just be eaten right out of the Illuminati's hand by buying into the Q stuff. So what I normally do is I say judge a tree by its fruit and see if the Q information has been helpful and positive, or has it been a bunch of negative propaganda to like steer us down the wrong path. So I'd keep a lookout for the stuff that QAnon says for sure. And he's talking about what a garbage dump Seattle has become. So check this out. I actually found this and I posted it to him, talking about Seattle being a dump. This is from the Seattle Times. Illustrates a common fear. People come to Seattle for a hand up they might not get in other parts of the country. Does that happen often? People all over the world have believed for centuries that it does. England's Henry VII passed a law in 1495 that beggars who couldn't work were forced to go back to the place where they last lived or were born and couldn't beg outside that area. President Richard Nixon said in a 1969 speech that cash welfare programs help draw millions into the slums of our cities. So when it comes to the homelessness problem, there could be a chance that people that need help are actually going to Seattle just so they can get some of the goodies. Now, the goodies should go to people that need them, but the problem is there's a lot of people that abuse those social programs. So Seattle's trying to do a good thing, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So Seattle is becoming a shithole because they're trying to help everybody out, and you can't do that. You can't. If you only have a boat that's a certain size, you can't just keep putting people on the boat. The boat will eventually sink, That's how I feel about that. So that's why I posted that article. I hope that helps. And he said Barack and Michael. There's a lot of people that think that Michelle Obama is actually a man. And I thought that was silly until I saw her dancing on Ellen. You can actually see her wiener kind of flopping around. So I don't know. Michelle Obama might actually be Michael Obama. There's even 2 clips you can find of Barack Obama calling Michelle Michael. And I won't even get into that, but that's all out there. Mike Doty just posted a picture of a wolf in sheep's clothing. Dallas Burnsworth says Jay Inslee's 2020. All right. John Bonifazio is asking, how's the baby girl? My wife and I had a baby. She's doing great. She was having some problems there for a while, but thank you very much for asking. Mindy Gross said CERN, portal to hell. So if you guys don't know what CERN is a 17-mile wide particle accelerator in Geneva, Switzerland, and it goes into France. And they built this thing on top of a bunch of old holy sites and stuff, and they are smashing atoms into each other. And people think that as they smash these atoms together, it's actually like making parallel dimensions merge with this one, and it's causing the Mandela effect and stuff. Yeah, so I think portal to hell, I don't think that's an understatement. You're probably right on the money. David Wyrick says, I would like to see an episode talking about HARP and its current evolution, cell phone towers. I would also like to discuss the forgotten phenomenon of the exploding flocks of birds and how they coincided with elevated activity at HARP. So HARP is the High Active Auroral Research Program in Alaska. They shoot like radio waves at the ionosphere. People think they can like move storm fronts and like move clouds and stuff into one another, but they don't even need HARP anymore. Supposedly they can do it with cell phone towers. And that's why there's so many cell phone towers, is that it's partially there for communication for civilian use, but it's really there for military use in case we were ever invaded. They could like blow up planes or beam signals into people's heads, supposedly. He's talking about the exploding birds. I don't know if you guys remember where like in Arkansas and stuff, huge flocks of birds would just drop dead out of the sky. And people claimed it was from fireworks and all kinds of stuff. And so remember, what was the other one? Spontaneous human combustion. People think that they can like somehow use these things to like light people on fire, and I mean, who knows what they can do with the technology now, because the military is like 40 years advanced than we are. So good call. True Manchurian Candidate stuff that fell through the cracks. The Manchurian Candidate, there's a movie with Denzel Washington, and then there was another one years before that. But the people that helped make the movie actually worked on the MK Ultra program where they would hypnotize people and make spies for the government and stuff. And the Manchurian Candidate is where they do it with a politician, and I think he ends up running for president and stuff. But if you haven't seen the movie, it's really really good. But people think they're doing that stuff now, but with like clones and stuff. What do we got here? Oh, guys, remember a couple weeks back? I'll click on this. I was at work the other night, and everybody's like, "Oh man, you got to see what's going on TV." I had members of the Clone Keegan that were sending me pictures because they were there of what was going on. And this image that you see with the smoke, it was not like that, dude. It looked like the freaking city was pulsating. When I was watching it on live TV and stuff, it did not look like there was any smoke involved. But I get home later that night, talk to my wife about it, show her what they're showing on TV and stuff, and they show this image of the smoke and the fire. It looked like a plasma beam like pulsating in the middle of the city here. Here's a good picture I got of it. And I found this beauty. Dude, that's weird. Some people say that this UFO looking thing here in the middle is the plasma arc. But dude, that does not look right. Are they testing Operation Bluebeam? Are they testing the public? I doubt it's aliens, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the government or not. So what else do we got here? The current state of media censorship of non-mainstream news media platforms across YouTube and Facebook, demonetization, and now removal of people's YouTube channels. My favorite YouTubers are all getting their channels taken from them. It started, I think, about 2 years ago where they were demonetizing people that were either conservative or Republican, or they talked about Sandy Hook, or if they talked about Pizzagate, they would demonetize you. But now straight up, if you have the word conspiracy in your video, they'll just remove the whole freaking thing. But that's the scary thing, is that's probably going to be YouTube's downfall, because YouTube no longer, conspiracy videos help make YouTube what it is now. And so people are just going to start going to Twitch or Dailymotion or one of these other independent website channels or whatever, where they can post their own videos and content. But it seems like YouTube doesn't even care anymore. So they might be super scared, or they might be super confident that whatever the Illuminati's agenda is, they've already got it all figured out, and it doesn't matter if they deplatform and take away everybody's videos and stuff. So that's really, really scary to me. Daniel Dockery also wants me to talk about the Oscars. I'm going to do a whole video on the Oscars because there's a lot of creepy stuff going on with these award shows. But anyhow, I'm Keegan, and in the meantime, don't roll your eyes at me.